I was able to lose weight, okay, and essentially like gain health only after looking at food in a more rational way. So what does this mean? I basically started. Obviously, there are many ways you can look at food rationally. You can look at a food rationally in terms of calories, okay, or you can look at food rationally in terms of composition, okay, in terms of taste, in terms of what I will later discuss. Of, let's go for a moment on calories, okay. I was on a low fat, high carb diet for a long time. I highly regret that option, that the choice. I've had extremely bad hormonal problems, meaning I had my testosterone down to the floor, and I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Because I'm doing everything I can to have high testosterone. I was obsessed with that. Okay, I still am today, but I was obsessed with that. I now believe may was my diet. Okay, I've later discovered that if you don't eat enough fat, okay, you basically don't allow the testosterone to grow. Even though I've seen bodybuilders and other figures, have normal level of testosterone, even though they have like a high carb diet. Honestly, didn't work for me. Should you not have a high carb diet? In my opinion, yes. I highly believe, okay, I highly believe that a carnivore diet, okay, meaning you only eat meat, is way superior than a high carb diet. Just putting my opinion out there, so that if you don't like me, you can click off the video. I don't give a fuck. This is my opinion. I highly believe this. And yeah, so I switched on to a high fat, low carb basically. And I honestly, this is another point. To be honest, didn't have anything to do with my weight loss, because again, weight loss is more about, as much as I don't like to say calories in, calories out, there are many more factors playing into that, meaning hormones and how much calories are really there in the food you're eating, okay, because there are basically many ways you can, like, you can eat a celery stick, it has thought calories, you can cook that and get more calories out of it, because like you are pre-digesting the food, so you spend less energy digesting the food, the thermic effect, if you know. So you have, there is all a bunch of stuff, but essentially this was my first approach at looking at food more rationally, okay. The second approach, looking at the food more rationally, was when I was exposed to a few ideas on the internet, okay, on cultural media, and there was this book, I think, a few books, okay, that were called, one is called like Salt, Fat, Sugar, Fat, something like that. I actually listened to that a few days ago, but I heard of the concept that basically the satisfaction from food may come, and the junk food companies keep you like hooked to their products thanks to a few different metrics. In the first book, okay, the one I mentioned at the beginning, which was Salt, Sugar, Fat, something like that, they say that, like, obviously there is so a lot of salt and we like salt, there is a lot of fat and we like fat, and there is a lot of sugar and we like sugar. Those are all great points, but it's not a full picture, okay. The second book I heard, okay, and just the title gives you an idea what it's about, is Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, okay. I never read that book, to be honest. I may want to read it. Honestly, I don't want to, because I already found my theory, my pleasure hypothesis. I always mention. I found the way, like, the reason we like food by myself, not even looking to those books. They surely gave me some inspiration, but this salt, fat, acid, heat basically stated that there is I think it was by a woman, and she was traveling the world, and she was noticing that like food in different culture tasted good, and there was always something in common, okay. I honestly didn't read the book. Maybe I should fact check the information, but I believe she basically discovered that the reason we like this stuff is because, one, fat, okay, salt, we already like heard that in the previous book, okay. So, but instead of sugar, she didn't mention sugar, she mentioned acid, okay? And I agree with that. Acid is something we like. And heat. Heat referring to the Maillard reaction, okay? You know, the browning reaction. When you cook something in general, you like it more. This is my idea of what the book is about. I've never read the book, but roughly this may be the stuff. Honestly, out of all those theories, there is always something that is not included. That is included in my hypothesis. I really go proud of this, because like, how the fuck did no one notice about this, okay? So, what I did was experiment with my own food, to look at junk food labels, look at junk food composition, like, what the fuck is in junk food that we like, okay? So the first thing I noticed was umami. None of those books or theories never mentioned umami. I believe umami is the biggest one, okay? Is the, like, how the fuck can you ignore umami? It's literally a taste, first of all, and second of all, it's so fucking good, okay? And umami is not salt. I don't know why those two books never mention umami. We fucking adore savory food, okay? I don't really know why no one mentioned about, like, none of those books mentioned it. I mentioned it is in my pleasure hypothesis. One other thing that is in my pleasure hypothesis that was not in the second book, salt, fat, acid, heat, was sugar, meaning sweetness, okay? I don't like to say sugar, because sweetness is, yes, sugar is sweet, but even bell peppers, even vegetables are sweet, and there is not much sugar in them, okay? In fact, okay, the sixth pillar, one thing that literally no one has ever mentioned yet, okay, is digestibility. Digestibility is something I honestly recently discovered, meaning I started noticing that, you know, I like bread. Why do I like bread? Is it sweet? Is it acid? Is it fat? Is it salty? No, it's none of them. Like, especially in my country, like, the bread we make does not have salt. It's a cultural thing, because we basically use bread everywhere, and our food is more seasoned. There is more salt in our food, so we don't want also our bread to be salty, because, you know, it's like bread is a base, and then you eat it with the food. Okay, this is how we look at bread in my city, at least. Okay, so we don't even have salty bread. I still like that. How is that? There is not fucking anything else. There is maybe a tiny bit of umami because there is yeast, and yeast is a little bit umami, but, you know, we are talking like very small amounts. Yet bread is something that I always look after when I'm having, like, a very tasty, pleasureful meal. Okay, and, you know, I started realizing that even potato chips, okay, bland potato chips, or bland like breadcrumbs and shit, they always had something that other food didn't have, and they always had something that I craved for when I was having a normal meal, okay, when I was maybe making food according to the first pleasure hypothesis of mine, meaning the 5 pillars: fat, salt, acid, umami, and sweetness. I had those 5, I didn't have digestibility, and I was like, why does it's still not good, okay, with these 5 pillars? I included everything. I included also digestibility, and I was like, actually, it's not like I included it, but I was craving digestibility, I was craving bread, I was craving something, you know, satisfying, and that was digestibility. And that is when I discovered that digestibility is actually a thing, even in science. Like, there is literally the glucose spike is something you crave, okay, it gives you dopamine, so it means you want to seek it more, not because it is, like, sweet. No, sweetness is one thing, that's why it is separate from digestibility. And the digestibility refers to the speed, okay, at which you digest the food, okay. If something has a high GI, meaning glycemic index, basically like it more. The real denominator here is basically the neural metabolism, okay, activation. If neuron is metabolically active, you basically release dopamine through a canal. I don't know the ganglion, I don't know the pathway. It doesn't matter. Just know that when that happens, okay, you basically release dopamine. And that is why you crave this digestible stuff more. Every time I see, like, I consciously can catch myself craving digestible stuff now, Honestly, for most of my life, I just craved something that had bread in it. Coincidentally, no. Obviously, I was craving for bread. I see this from everyone. I look at my family, I look at my friend, and they always are looking for that. Like, they kind of want to go around it because, you know, it's not a useful food. I don't think bread is the healthiest thing. It's not bad, obviously, but it's not like it gives you some health benefit. So everybody knows that, and we all try to eat a moderate amount, okay? So, yeah, and we just like this, okay? I don't want to go too in depth about this. But yeah, let's just say that looking at food in a more rational way, okay? Having a more rational view of something really changed me. Honestly, like, the first rational view, okay, was the calories. I started, to be honest, okay, I'll be honest with you, I started counting calories only when I was bulking, okay? Only when I was bulking. Meaning, when I was cutting, I just focused on getting enough proteins and basically not eating junk food, not eating sugar in specific, okay? Sugar, I don't know why, okay? This is the thing that really is making me not study nutrition, okay? I've studied nutrition for a good few months, and I learned a lot of stuff, okay? I went into detail, like the chemical processes, but there is something I can't really get over, and it is the fucking fog, the jungle of nutrition. So, I followed the advice of a doctor called Robert Lustig, okay? A very renowned endocrinologist. And, you know, I saw his lecture, like 2-hour lecture, called Fructose 2.0, okay? That lecture is crazy. I also looked at the first episode, the first lecture, the original one, which is called Sugar, the Bitter Truth, okay? It's also his lecture, but more in-depth in the chemical processes, okay? I was into the chemical processes, so I looked at that also. And, you know, I basically explained how sugar is a fucking poison, is addictive, it is not good for you, especially fructose, okay, not really sugar. He never mentioned that bread is bad for you, but he does mention that fructose, okay, in sucrose, meaning the table sugar in processed food, high fructose corn syrup. He mentioned that basically the fructose acts as the same as alcohol minus the mental effect, because like fructose is not metabolized by the brain, okay? Alcohol is metabolized also by the brain, so you don't get the same, you know, drunk experience that you get from alcohol. Beside the point, like, is I stopped eating sugar, okay, like refined sugar. I was eating fruit, maybe maybe I was not at the beginning, but you know, fruit is fine. But I started like losing weight in a very substantial manner. So yesterday I just looked at basically a debunking of a podcast in which Dr. Lustig was, and this guy, don't remember the name, but he was like debunking all of this shit. I was making very, you know, solid points, which I also agreed on, which means calories do matter, while Lustig sometimes mentioned that calories don't really matter. There is a deeper reason to that. I probably only just look at the video and answered, but you know, I started seeing the comments, and they were all saying that after following these doctors' advices, they were healthy. They didn't have like health issues as much as before, as when they were eating sugar. And that clicked for me, because I have the same situation, okay? You know, sugar doesn't only mess up with your, you know, hormones and shit. Like, yes, it does mess up with the hormones, but that is very substantial, okay? Like, I will not go into detail because I don't want to get lost into this, but simply, when I was eating sugar, I was not very satiated, okay? I was always kind of hungry, and I was craving sugar a lot, okay? As much as that fucking doctor, like the one that was debunking the Lustig, was saying, oh, there is no scientific study that the sugar is addictive, and there is no scientific study that proves that fructose is bad, and okay, I don't give a fuck, honestly. I still think that sugar was bad for me, and when I stopped eating that, I started being healthy. And like, the thing is that there are scientific studies for pretty much everything. You can support any fucking theory if you just look at scientific study. Bro, that guy pulled out a study, like the cereals, okay, like frosted cereals, they were like correlated with like death, okay, like it was basically saying that if you ate cereal, you were less likely to die, like you died older. Sorry, I don't want to I don't want to put words into his mouth, but he basically pulled out a study where eating cereal was not correlated with premature death, okay. I think that study was also founded by some basically cereal corporation or something, like Kellogg's or some shit. Not really sure about this, but you know, get the picture. There are a lot of studies to prove pretty much any point, and what worked for me, I will tell you what worked for me, because I was considering making videos about nutrition, but you know, I don't want to get into that. It's not really my thing. What worked for me, I will tell you what worked for me. I stopped eating sugar, okay, processed food, junk food, totally. I didn't cheat. That said, I was starting to hate my food, okay, and that is when I discovered that like healthy food doesn't have to be shit. That is the second time I started looking at food more rationally. I started looking, okay, is it really the fat, salt, and sugar that makes food taste good? Okay, because at the time I was going full on discipline. Like, I'm not eating junk food and I'm eating healthy food. So it means I'm sacrificing, like I'm giving up the salt, sugar, and fat, which at the time I believed were the main like reasons I liked junk food, because that was the only thing I saw in the label, you know, sugar, saturated fat. I was sure that was the reason I liked food. Then I thought about my grandmother, my neighbor, okay, all the like grannies that made delicious meals, and they were not unhealthy, they were pretty healthy shit, and I liked them. Many recipes my mom made, tortilla, chicken curry, you know, I was like, why do they taste good? They're not junk food, they don't have that much sugar, fat, and salt, you know. So I started looking more rationally and deep into it, and I realized that there were certain pillars, okay, basically the 6 pillars I mentioned in the beginning. I'll leave, no, I'm not gonna mention them again, but yeah, essentially started look at food like that, and I had a lot of success. The video you're looking at right now is basically me applying the 6 pillars, and you know, as much as it doesn't work 100% of the time, to be honest, to me it always worked. There is not, maybe there was one time it didn't work because I messed up some cooking shit, but anyway, every time I apply this mindset, this pleasure hypothesis, I always end up with something tasty, even though it's healthy, okay, like I mean relatively healthy than junk food, okay. Simply like, if you quit junk food, you will lose weight, you will be healthier, okay. Everybody knows that junk food is not good for you, but there is some guy that argues that no, I mean the thing is that caloric intake and you know, fucking hell, like, don't stress too much about that, okay. My advice is you can eat whatever the fuck you want, okay, as long as it is not processed, okay. If you eat whole foods, whether it is vegetable, whether it is meat, whether it is fruits, okay, don't eat jams, okay, jams are processed, okay, this is the kind of food we want to avoid, refined food, okay, high sugar food that is not occurring in nature, okay. You can say honey is fine. To be honest, when I stopped eating sugar, I also stopped eating honey. Someone can argue that is not like refined stuff, but still, I don't know, that's up to you. I'm telling you what I did, and I stopped eating high sugar foods, okay. I was not eating a low carb diet, absolutely, but I was eating a more, you know, whole food diet, and that really helped me. So yeah, this is how looking at food rationally helped me through my journey of, you know, being healthier. And you know, honestly, I never think about this, but actually when I stopped eating shit food and I started losing weight, and obviously the reason I did that was because I wanted to look good, okay. Why I want to look good? For girls, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I think everybody today knows that you work out for girls, okay? You can say as much as you want. I would do it for myself. Think about a world, like imagine you're in a world where there is no female, okay? There is only men, and you are not gay, okay? What do? You still go walk out? Yeah, I mean maybe because you want to defend yourself from other men, but you are alone. Like you are completely alone in the world. Why would you work out? Why would you want to have an aesthetic body? Maybe you will say like for health benefits. I agree with you. And maybe you would go and exercise for, you know, my mental sanity, because it also helps your brain. Okay, working out helps your brain. But honestly, I would not care. I would not care about the muscles and shit. The only reason we work out, okay, this is for me. Maybe you're not like this. I highly doubt you are not like this. Like I think every fucking body does it for some internal desire, and desire is usually to fuck. Okay, so I was doing it for girls, and now that I look back, I honestly can confirm that worked. I went from not having like any girl's attention to having a few experiences. Okay, now I'm not like the Pussy Slayer 2003. Like I'm not like the fuckboy of the situation, because I'm not into that stuff. I've never been some like degenerate person. I've never like went every Sunday, every Saturday to the club and, you know, approach girls. Is not really my thing. But even though I'm so like introverted, okay, I was still able to get the attention from girls. I remember one time I went to a club, and basically I was working in like randomly with a friend of mine, and all of a sudden I hear my back tapped. I was like, I turned my back, and it's like this fat person, this fat woman that was like my age, maybe a little bit older, and she was like, hey, I was not hearing her, she was a fuck ton of music. She goes again, friend. I was like, what? She gets closer and she's like, do you want to kiss my friend? I turn around, like, where's her friend? And she points at the girl besides her. I didn't notice for some reason. And no, she was not the ugliest person. I said no because I don't know, like maybe I have very high standards. Maybe this this will be the death of mine, because I've like always have opportunities and never take me because I have fucking high standards. Like I have very high standards, and like I said no. But I was like, fuck, I just got a girl to ask me if I could kiss her. Like my friend was like there next to me, and he was like, Fede, what is happening? What did she ask you? And I said like, I asked her. Sorry, she asked me if I wanted to kiss her friend. And what did you say? And I said no. I was like so upset. Like, what the fuck, Fede? She was not that bad. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, she literally asked you to kiss her. Okay, a girl wanted to kiss you, and you said no. I was like, I mean, yeah, that's kind of strange. Usually doesn't happen. But that time, like, it clicked to me and was like, fuck. So, like, I'm able to attract girls now. I was not even that muscular. I was absolutely more confident because I was seeing progress in my journey. Like, I lost weight, I gained weight, I gained muscle and shit. I was more confident about myself. So maybe there was also that component, but surely like my face shape changed, all my characteristics changed, so that I was able basically to attract few girls. There are many instances. I went to Barcelona, I kissed a few girls, and to be honest, I don't know why I never recall these experiences. Maybe I'm insecure or shit or something. But yeah, if I think about it, I can remember that this thing, like this journey I all took, did change something actually. And this all started from when I basically started to look at food in a more rational way. It goes back to that. When I started being more pragmatic, okay, about diet and food, I started getting a bunch of benefits that, like, I'm pretty sure that was the biggest change of my life. Obviously, yeah, I started working out at home. Yeah, at home. I never like went to the gym to work out. I stayed at home and did calisthenics. Fuck, wait. Microphone, right? Yeah. And I mean, I started getting attention from girls and all of this shit. And I'm very grateful I did that. And now, not only I am very, I have full control over my health. Okay, I have full control over my health. Really, like this is the thing that shocks me. My parents like were Fede, like, when are you gonna stop eating this much? Because I was bulking. Okay, I was bulking and I was eating a fuck ton of food, and they were like, Fede, when are you gonna stop eating this fucking much? Like, we literally like are spending a lot of money just to buy food because you eat a lot, and so I was like, I don't know, like when I reached this amount of weight, okay, and they were like, Fede, but like, don't, I think you're ruining yourself. I think you're ruining your health because like you get that weight and then you cannot go down. I was like, what? Doesn't make sense. I know what I'm eating. I was looking at food rationally. I was looking at food in a more rational way. They were like, I don't blame them. They never had this problem, so they never went into diet and why you gain weight. Okay, they're still convinced that if you eat fat, you get fat. If you those common myths about butter, like butter is unhealthy and shit, and I was like, no, I will be able to lose the weight I'm gaining. Obviously, it's like just a math equation. Okay, calories in, calories out. If you want to be very rational, I don't advise you to follow that calories in, calories out, because you will end up eating shit food that is absolutely not good for you. That you will crave more of the shit food, and shit food will not be as calorie low. So yeah, don't count calories if you want to lose weight. If you want to gain weight, I suggest you do, because I was never able to eat enough foods to gain weight. Losing weight is pretty easy. As long as you eat whole foods, you basically cannot overeat over your like calories maintenance level. It's pretty hard. Okay, if you 9% battery. If you eat whole foods, bro, you will get satiated and you will be fine. Like, there is no way you can eat too much if you eat whole foods. Okay, stick with whole foods. Don't even count calories. You will get results ASAP. So, I lost the point I was making. Oh yes, my parents. I was like, no, I won't. It's pretty easy. And my dad was like, no, Phil, trust me. Like, sometimes like when you get to a weight, it's very hard to lose it. Maybe for you, because you don't look at food rationally. For me, it's like fucking easy. In matter of fact, okay, a few months ago I stopped bulking. I started like not counting calories, meaning I was cutting. Okay, when I don't count calories, basically I'm not eating enough to gain weight. So I started basically losing weight. Usually a normal person, if he doesn't stress about the diet, he or she will not lose weight. And this is because my rule for eating, like this is a rule I've set for myself. I will never go back to snacking on junk food. I did snack on junk food. I didn't care. Like, I just wanted to feel good, and so I ate desserts and snacks and junk food shit. I don't do that anymore. The only thing I eat is healthy, like whole foods, even fat. It's not like fat is bad. The only fat I don't eat is seed oils. Okay, I don't eat seed oils, and apart from that, I eat whatever the fuck I want, as long as it is whole. Yes, I mean, I guess I am sacrificing some of the pleasure that comes from desserts, sugary stuff. I don't often eat, desserts and sweets. Okay, but other than that, I eat pretty much anything, and I lose weight. Okay, if I'm sure if anyone started eating whole foods as much as they wanted, they will lose weight. That is like a pure fact. So yeah, I lost the point again. Oh yeah, they finished. Bro, I'm fucking losing track of my thoughts. Sorry for this. So yeah, essentially I stopped bulking and I lost weight immediately. Like I am 73 kilograms. Okay, I was 83 kilograms. In a few months, I was able to basically shed 10 kilograms. It's fucking crazy. Honestly, I didn't want this to be so strong. I don't like. I wanted to keep a bit of weight, but I'm not gonna. What's the word? I'm not gonna be sad. No, I don't know. Yes, let's go a bit to the video. So, in this video, I'm basically cooking random stuff together, following my pleasure hypothesis. Basically, the thing that enabled me to enjoy food again without eating shit food. Okay, these are the things that junk food companies basically do to keep you addicted, minus the sugar, minus the seed oils. Okay, when I say sweetness, okay, my pleasure hypothesis, yes, I mean sugar can be sweet, but I don't advise to use sugar because that's processed. Remember, my philosophy of diet is basically eat whatever is not processed and you will be fine. So to include sweetness, I usually add vegetables. Okay, in this case, I think I had tomato sauce, and I had everything, pretty much everything here. I had digestibility from the you know, the fucking crust. Don't know the name. And then I had the umami from the meat, from the mushrooms. That block of ice basically was mushrooms. This is another unconventional thing I did, which was not letting the mushroom defrost. And it turned out fine anyway. It basically defrosted in the pan. Unconventional, but it worked. Okay. And let me think. There was so there was basically fat through olive oil and also the burger, I guess. There was salt by salt. There was sweetness by tomato. Tomato also added some acidity. I also added some acidity through yogurt. If you noticed, at a point I also added yogurt when I was pouring the mixture into the dough. And then, I mean, there is also no, I think I mentioned everything. Yeah, fat, salt, umami. Yeah, no, I mentioned umami through mushrooms and all kind of shit. Yeah, I think I don't want to add too much to this video. It's been enough. If you want me to help you quit junk food the same way I did, I have a coaching program that is the first link in the description. Go click that right now.
Comunque è buono. È buono, buono.
Bene.
Così ti metti il video qua, ti mani. Yeah! Tanta donna, ma stavolta non si muove di casa.
Vieni qua. L'accesa.